Watch this. Police assistance line 131 444.
Welcome to the police assistance line. If this is an emergency, please hang up and call 000. If you are calling to report a theft, property damage or lost property, visit us online at onlinereporting.police.vic.gov.au. Please listen carefully as the options have recently changed. If you are calling to report burglary, theft, property damage or any general police inquiries, press 1. If you are calling to receive advice regarding coronavirus restrictions or any other coronavirus-related inquiry, press 2. If you are calling to report a confirmed breach of government-mandated coronavirus restrictions, please press 3.
I'll pick one.
This call will be recorded for quality and coaching purposes. All our customers...
Welcome to the police assistance line. You're speaking to Matt. Is anyone injured or in any immediate danger?
No.
Is what you're calling about happening now?
Yes.
Yes? What's happening?
Well, I've locked myself out of my house and I was wondering if you can return my keys because the Footscray police have them.
You've come to the assistance line, so I can't really help you with that. I can connect you through a Footscray if you like.
I'd prefer not to. Can I just chat to you briefly about something that's been happening for me to get your opinion, please?
Okay.
Well, I'm at the centre of a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, you see. And it's the kind of conspiracy whose systemic government oppression is so vile in its victimisation. It ended up in my suicide in a hospital. Now the hospital, the suicide attempt was deemed a success. The Freedom of Information from the hospital says it was a fatal injury and a lethal attempt. Anyway, the story goes I was accidentally found with no observable pulse and unresponsive with no blood, and revived from certain death. And now I live with an acquired brain injury. I just want to say that before that, my former partner, who I was engaged to for 5 years, used to work for ASIC, and he swore to ruin my life. Now I was kind of spent my nest egg on him, and he was earning like 300 or 400 grand a year at ASIO. Now, just a bit personal, if you'll just indulge me just for a minute, he like cheated on me, left me with his dying dog, he threatened a hitman on me, and he admitted to me he was present at murders, and he stole my car and my goods, and he tricked me into being coercively used as sexually and financially for all that time. He still to this day owes me probably. He always said he'd retire well in retirement, and it's got $1 million in super. So there's actually a legal and equitable and fair precedent that I get access to some of that. Now, that was a while ago. And I just want to say too that while I was with him, it was revealed that he invested $1.2 million in an offshore tax haven. Now, he made this money from the sale of a house in Abbotsford. And the money was made selling coke. And ASIO called him, and he got off the fraud, no jail, with a fine. Now, previous and after that, I just want to say that I lost two VOCAT cases, victims of crime. The first one was a violent affray with video evidence that says I wasn't the principal aggressor. I was actually saving the life of a man who I thought they were going to kill. And the police freedom of information redacted the video evidence that would have proven me innocent, you know. And the second one was my own child sexual abuse case where I was the victim, and it was never really acknowledged anywhere by family and friends because I'm prejudiced as apparently having a mental illness. It's kind of ruined my life, and it was additionally rejected by a magistrate after 3 long years of fighting, and she wrote to me saying I was doomed to fail. Now this was pretty, it was just wild. So, and I think this is because I'd been framed by my very influential former partner, and also because I'd been framed after I made a valid complaint about a GP, and the evidence that I had for that was silenced. But his lawyer identified me internally through lots of systemic agencies as an extortionist. Now, this is ridiculous to me because money's never been my currency, but see what happened at that time. Someone actually gave me $100,000 and said it was a mistake, so I gave it back. Now, I just want to. I just know that there exists a movement to destroy me, and how it works is via proxy attack of government agencies. It's very subtle, and I've had to reverse engineer this up from the bottom. Now, I know this is true and they want to kill me, A, because I have death threats at the door and at the window, and this government oppression literally murdered me, and then it was covered up. So it was whitewashed. So in actual fact, the hospital CEO told me to sue him directly. But in the last, I don't know, my whole life, I haven't been able to go to police, and I haven't been able to get one lawyer anywhere. And since then, I've found out I've been banned from the Victorian Bar. And also, I'm a failed whistleblower at APRA, at ASIC, at IBAC, and at the Commonwealth Ombudsman. Now, I just want to say that when that death happened, no one even rose a pen or complained about it. So I did myself to defend my life and my worth. And this is because there was a word on the street, you know, that I kill myself willy-nilly for shits and giggles, you know, to extort people. And this is how I was framed. And the oppression was years and decades long. And I was framed, I've actually done a doctorate, and I was framed at work, and the disturbance there, which was related to my sexual abuse case and working with a sexually abused client as a therapist, was told me by my insurance that it was prior existing. Now, a whole year's gone past, and despite the suicide and apparent mental illness, I was placed on job seeker while I was still on sick leave. And I just got out of hospital, and they left me go unethically squatting with no food, no car, no job, and no hope. And then they kicked me off the service. And HCF, the insurer, conspired with Australian Financial Complaints Authority. Now, they owe me over $2 million. That's because they are supposed to come to a determination 4 weeks if you've got financial disadvantage. But mine took over 2 years. Now, they watched as I became a vagrant And people confused me being broke and a vagrant and distressed from work as mental illness. However, that after I suicided in hospital, AFCA actually stretched out the determinations, and again they amplified my suffering by rejecting my prosperity. Now, there's another issue there with WorkSafe, which was also in on it. WorkSafe told me to go to Comcare, but when Comcare rejected my work cover status, WorkSafe wouldn't help with my Comcare appeal. And it turns out that the guy who originally, or well, finally, after about, 10 months, rejected me from Comcare is the name of a guy called Paul Fowler. And lo and behold, he's the old boss at WorkSafe. Now that's corruption. And in addition to that, I lost over $1 million from the Australian Human Rights Centre. It was a human rights abuse case and prejudice where I was denied TPD and income assist with a super company because I'd worked doing a master's degree and a PhD and other jobs, and I was doing a PhD and ran my own business. And it came to a conciliation, and the Australian Human Rights Centre said that the other party left, so there's nothing they can do about it, and basically free kicked the $1 million plus, would have been $2 million now that I've got a brain injury, to the other team. Now my work cover case, currently, now my suicide happened in February 2021. My work cover case is before the AAT right now, and the Attorney General oversees all of those systemic agencies. I wrote to her, Makilia Cash, pointing out the corruption and the massive amount of detriment and financial disadvantage that I'd lost. Now, like all people who were prejudiced and who were in on this movement to destroy me, they identified me being ill and they ignored the detriment and the injustice. And so, despite me saying I require immediate intervention in this, and I don't want the number to Lifeline, she sent me to Lifeline. Now, I wanted to just say this. A public official, such as you two, kind sir, thank you for indulging my story, must act within the Charter of Human Rights for People with a Disability, which was ratified by the government in 2008. That means I must have equality before the law, and I must have access to the law. I must have a home and provisions. I must have freedom from exploitation, freedom from torture, freedom from degrading treatment, freedom from detriment or threats of detriment, and I must be safe. Now, I want to say that the Health Minister, Greg Hunt, silenced that original evidence years ago, and a lot of MPs, including Dan Andrews, Mark Latham, Katie Hall, Bill Shorten, Minister Foley, the Vic Health Minister, he's just rejected me today. And very many others have done one thing in common, and that is they systemically act with omission. And by omission I mean they know what's going on, but they don't admit it and they admit it. And if I took this to the Federal Circuit Court of Australia, all my prosecution has to do is to prove that everyone acted by omission, and that is going to prove a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice. Now, that's what I need to prove in the Federal Circuit Court. But my problem is more immediate than that, because at the moment, I have no food, I've survived on $22,000 a year after leaving a $120,000 a year job, and 18,000 of that and a half went on rent. So I'm actually been denied the Charter of Human Rights. I've been denied a lawyer, and the millions of dollars work cover case is before the AAT, and they now have, the government, after having already literally killed me and covered it up, now have a 25-year experienced lawyer with Comcare in order to really kick me when I'm down. Now, this is inequitable, it's unfair, and it's totally unbalanced, and it's illegal. I can't believe this is happening to me, you know. So how do I acknowledge this? You're a public official, and you have to act within the realm of the Human Rights Charter. What was your name again? Sorry.
My name is Matt. The assistants line were only civilians, we're not officials.
But you're a representative of the police in public office.
I work for the police, but I'm not part of the police force.
Yeah, but you're a PSA, so you have to act within the Charter of Human Rights. Can I just grab your name again? Sorry, I forgot it. Sorry, what was it?
Matt.
Max or Matt?
Matt with a T.
Matt with a T. Okay. Do you get to say your surname or you don't?
I don't.
I wonder why that is, and what do you think of the story? Because at the moment, I'm distressed. I'm not mentally ill, but I have brain damage, and the hospital CEO knows very well that I can't be a whistleblower. I can't get a lawyer. I can't go to the police. Actually, I'm rendered a neutral, innocuous vagrant. And I am a vagrant, and I'm starving. And I've just been hospitalised another time for a ridiculous reason, and the police had the keys to my house. Now, I was hiding inside, trying to avoid the mental health team. I've done a doctorate in that. The psychiatrist who put me in hospital, I'd never even met. She told me I had delusions of persecution, but they're all true. Now, I am really opposed to this whole thing, and as a public official who is bound by the Charter of Human Rights, what do you suggest I do as a representative of the police force, not working for the police force, but as a representative, having heard my story and having to act without omission, because that's a further conspiracy? And what do you think I should do? Because I think I need to take the government to the Federal Circuit Court, but then again I have to eat. And I've been squatting for the last 4 months.
So I'm not actually allowed to give an opinion, but what I can do is I can speak to our sergeants here.
Pardon?
I'm not allowed to provide an opinion as a civilian, but I can speak to one of my sergeants if you'd like me to inquire what they think should be done.
Well, you can obviously see it's a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, which is illegal. And obviously it's an absolutely abhorrent and ungodly victimisation of one person, which is framed by the utter character assassination of me. What's your thoughts, mate?
I'm not allowed to provide my thought, but I can speak to one of my sergeants if you'd like me to get his opinion.
Can I just ask you, if a crime has happened, and obviously it has, are you under obligation to report that?
My job here is to take reports of a crime that has occurred.
Do you agree crimes have occurred in my story?
Your story, as you put it, is quite complicated, which is why I would like to speak with one of my sergeants, if that's all right with you.
Okay, well, I'll let you speak to him, and I'd prefer not to identify myself at the moment because whatever is on the police at the back of the bus or on the thing, every time I talk to someone, I'm utterly rejected. So I'd prefer if you spoke to your sergeant right now. Oh, can you do it now or not?
Yes, I can do it now. If you're willing to go on hold for a bit.
Yeah, okay. Could you please come back to me, because it's very important, and to do less than come back to me with and acknowledge it is massively amplifying my detriment and the risk of, ill health and like I've been robbed of millions and millions of dollars,
Just hold the line. I'll be back in a moment, okay?
Thanks, mate.
All right.
This will be good. See what happens here. He's not coming back. Oh, yeah, mate. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So I've just spoken with Sergeant Cardi, and she's advised that she thinks it's best to see if we can get someone there to come and see you.
Oh, yeah, that'd be amazing because I've got all the evidence here. Like, I've had to reverse engineer this whole thing right from the beginning, and I've been fighting it for years. I've literally got thousands of letters. I'm close to giving up. You know, I feel like when can someone come out and see me, like at my house?
So if I can get a name, a number, and an address, I should be able to organise that pretty quickly.
Oh, you're gonna do it tonight?
I can.
Oh, look. Thank you for taking my concerns so seriously, and with compassion. Obviously, you can see this is a extraordinarily complex situation because now the Office of Prime Minister and Cabinet refused my freedom of information, and the police and the federal police and the finance minister Birmingham and others have rejected my detriment claim. So they're literally waiting for me to die. It is fairly urgent, I guess. I'm just afraid that if I give you my name and address, you won't come because I'm a failed whistleblower at IBAC and after all that happened, my business was ruined. Like so much damage has happened just to wear me down and destroy me. You know. I'm not suicidal or anything, but I'm pretty chipper actually. I got a nice dog. Lost all my friends and family because of the prejudice. But I'm fearful that if I give you my name and address and number, something's going to interfere that will prevent me being able to report this. That's my fear.
Without a location, there's not what I can really.
I can give you my location. Yeah. Okay. If you can send someone compassion, can I give a different name and just the same address? You can probably look me up anyway.
That's fine.
It's number 2,
2
Street,
Bottom Street.
MCCUBBIN
Yep.
Street in Footscray,
Footscray. Okay.
in Victoria 3011. And can I just briefly ask how on earth did you relate that story to the person in such a short time?
I was writing everything down as you said it.
Oh, amazing! Thank you.
I showed it to them. It's the fastest way to do it.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I'm happy to meet tonight, or I'm happy to meet anytime. If you could please send it right up the ranks to the federal police and an investigator, because it's going to have to be investigated. It's like if. And the other thing, I haven't got my keys. The other thing is, my mouse for my computer's been stolen and my phone. I only own a computer and my dog and a bed. That's it for me. And I just yeah. I mean, it needs to be investigated. I think. Do you think?
Well, if you leave this with me, I'll sort out what I can. Okay.
Okay. Will I give you my number to call me back on, or?
If you're willing to.
Well, I can, but I'm a failed whistleblower, so I mean, if you can guarantee that someone will come out tonight, can you check now while I'm on the phone, or?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to escalate this to my sergeant, and she's going to organise things herself. Okay.
Okay.
Any additional details you can give us is bonus.
Oh, I've got all the evidence here. The entire of the evidence is here. It's not even a question of this if this is happening. It's just a question of if you'll send someone to acknowledge it.
So I will get straight back on with my sergeant to organise what we can. Okay.
Okay, well, what we can seems like a bit not here nor there. Can I get a guarantee that someone will come out?
I can. I'm not allowed to deal in absolutes, I'm afraid.
Well, I mean, I can deal in absolutes because, as public officials and of you reporting that to your sergeant, who also has to act within the Charter of Human Rights, I've suffered terrible detriment, brain damage, a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice, which could literally turn this country upside down. I could single-handedly disrupt this election. This is how monstrous this demon is. And I've told you about murders, I've told you about conspiracy. I don't think there would be any opportunity or any possibility that someone couldn't come out to see me since I've told you all this.
I personally cannot organise police. That's why I want to escalate to my sergeant who can.
Can I just get your sergeant's name, please?
Sergeant Carty.
Can you spell that?
Carty.
And where are they from?
I don't actually know where they're from.
Oh, are they in Melbourne or?
I don't know. I speak with them over the phone.
Oh, so is she going to call me on the phone, or are police going to come to my house?
You've given us the address, so we'll probably go with the house.
Okay. Well, can I expect them tonight, do you think? There's no try. There's only do or do not. Yoda said that from Star Wars. Did you know that?
I'm pretty confident someone will be out very soon.
Okay. Can I just interject there with something? I've been confused with having delusions of persecution and hospitalised as part of a way that appropriates my apparently being unwell with actual facts. If you're going to send the police with the mental health team to hospitalise me again, that would be a real shame because I have all the evidence here and it's unequivocally true that I'm absolutely well, even if I'm forgetful from the brain damage. Is that what you're planning to do? Send the CAT team or something?
I don't know what my sergeant plans on doing. Just asked me the location for you so we can get someone out there.
Okay. Well, it sounds to me like the entire seriousness and the broad arching aspects of this are extremely profound and obviously true. I think if I was prejudiced with not being acknowledged in an appropriate way, it would be a monstrous further detriment that I've suffered. But I'm happy to talk to anyone who will come out. Failing that, can I organise a time with that officer on another day that doesn't have to be now, so we can sit down for a few hours and we can acknowledge this all here in my home where the evidence is?
That's something that the sergeant will need to organise.
Okay, okay. What do you think I should do from here? Just wait, or will I wait, or am I just going to be a brother hanging in the middle of the night, or what's going to happen?
If you leave this with me, I'll speak to the sergeant. We'll get something sorted. We won't be leaving you hanging. I can guarantee that.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. All right. Well, I'll leave it there. I'm at 2 McCubbin Street, Footscray, and I might give you my number just in case.
Okay.
It's 04. Wait on. What is it? I forget. 0409 88 47 076.
076. All right, I've got that down.
thank you so much for hearing my story, and I look forward to either hearing or getting someone over.
Okay. I'll get on this now, okay?
Thanks, mate.
All right.
They're so not coming.